Sunday's big political or cabinet reshuffle for sure will dominate and dictate Indian markets today. So let's break up that news with help of Kinshuk Nag, resident editor, Times of India, and here he is the resident editor for Hyderabad. Kinshuk, good morning. Thank you for joining us. First, what's your understanding? Do you think this is the last-ditch effort by UPA 2 before the 2014 election to revive the economy?
Yes, I do think so. I think the government wants to be seen as being a doer, so they have made these major reshuffles so to show that they are going to act now. Because this is their last attempt before 2014. So I expect that there will be some policy initiatives. I expect that the government will be more proactive and we'll see a lot of action around. I think let's see what happens then.
Kinshuk, one move which most observers are taking note of is the Andhra heavy inclusions, whereas Maharashtra has drawn a blank. Does it show that UPA has new priorities on its table?
No, it only shows that, you see, the Congress's mainstay in the last government was the 33 MPs from Andhra Pradesh. Now, after the death of Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy and the advent of Jagan Mohan Reddy, the Congress has been losing ground in Andhra Pradesh. And the realization is there that if we don't do anything, the Congress will be wiped off from Andhra Pradesh. And if it is wiped off from Andhra Pradesh, there is no hope in hell that the UPA Congress can come back to power in Delhi. So therefore, this is a last-ditch effort to consolidate the Congress citadel in, or save the Congress citadel in Andhra Pradesh. Therefore, you have so many ministers from Andhra Pradesh. The assumption is that if there are so many ministers around, they will do something, and the fortress of the Congress in Andhra Pradesh will be saved. And that is the idea. I think the same thing has happened in West Bengal also. They have inducted a lot of ministers so that the Trinamool Congress is kept at bay. So that's how. So in that sense, it's a new priority.
Kinshuk, if I'm an independent market investor, should I now safely assume that new ministers from AP, they will certainly benefit companies like GMR, GVK, Lanco, essentially corporates or companies which are based out of Andhra Pradesh?
I don't think things work out so easily. I mean, it's not, there's no one-to-one relation between ministers and companies after all. And number two, a lot of these companies like GMR are based out of Bangalore, have their business in Delhi, etc. So you can't say that just because there are ministers from Andhra, they'll benefit corporates from Andhra. That is not a correct way to look at things. But I am sure that these ministers will become proactive and therefore there will be more action in their fields. And when there is more action, I think the market loves that. And therefore you can indirectly say that the market will look up. Because the market looks for a government which is proactive, is more liberal, does more reforms, and that way. And I will certainly not agree with you that if there are more ministers from Andhra, the shares of prices of scrips of Andhra companies will go up. That is not correct.
Right. Kinshuk, so will the new cabinet have any bearing on government stance in the reform process? I mean, will the new composition help the government to fast-track the reform process, which is all that the market cares about right now?
Yeah, there's no direct relation because if there are certain ministers, but obviously the fact of the matter is that the Congress, the government is now setting up new ministers, new guys, younger guys, more energetic guys. They will have to do something. The election is in 2014 at the latest. People think that it could be earlier also. So now the Congress government wants to take the initiative in its hand and show that we are here, we are going to perform, now you guys watch out. Don't think that we are a moribund government. Don't think that we'll be, you guys from the opposition can assault us all the time and make complaints. We are here for action, and you'll see the action. And I'm sure very soon you'll see some action. And I suppose the market will love that.
Right. What is the reason for the change at the oil ministry? Do you think now the dispute between the country's biggest hydrocarbon reserve would reach a conclusion? That's Reliance and Oil Ministry's dispute on the KG-D6 pricing.
Well, when Jayapal Reddy was appointed as petroleum minister a few months ago, it was said it was a demotion for him, and he was early in urban development. Now, few months down the line, people start saying that he has been appointed there to stymie Reliance and keep them under check. I don't know whether that's true or not. Of course, he was a tough minister. Now he's gone away to science and technology, and people say it's a demotion for him. And they say it's a demotion for him. They say, I'm not saying that I'm saying. They say it's a demotion for him because he took on Reliance, and number one. Number two, he also had was encouraging the Telangana movement, and therefore he has been punished. Whether it is true or not, whether this is merely speculation, we do not know. Right. But I suppose, I guess with Veerappa Moily there, I think some conclusion will be reached with Reliance, and I think Reliance will find it a little more easier to deal with Veerappa Moily than they did with Jayapal Reddy. I guess, that's my guess, but then we don't know how things pan out in reality.
Kinshuk, the other big surprise, at least according to me, is the new power minister. Jyotiraditya Scindia is now the new power minister. That's a big promotion for him.
Yeah, but as we all of us know that it's the government has to do much with Rahul Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi's brigade, and they wanted younger ministers, and Jyotiraditya Scindia in power shows that the government will have a more proactive power minister. Power is a major concern for industry and consumers all over the country, and we have done nothing really in the power sector for the last 20 years. And today we are seeing that impact. And therefore they feel that if a younger minister there who's open to new ideas, who meets with people, he will take some out-of-the-box decisions and to some extent prevail upon the situation and try to do something. Because today the situation is the country is having a lot of power shortage, and all states are buying power from private sector at very high rates. That's leading to deficits in their budgets. And at the same time you are giving free power to farmers. So it's created a lot of problems. So they think that with Jyotiraditya Scindia there possibly some impact will be there. That's the idea, I guess.
Kinshuk, so final question, and even though UPA 2 is a composite unit, we know individuals matter, and the classic case here is UPA 2 with Pranab Mukherjee as a finance minister and UPA 2 with the, P. Chidambaram as a finance minister. So which is one individual you're hopeful of, and which is one sector you're hopeful of that we will see big bang reforms in that sector after the cabinet reshuffle?
Well, that's very difficult to say, but I guess a lot will depend on not only on the finance minister but also on the prime minister. I don't know what are his priorities right now. I cannot venture and speculate. I don't know. But I would say that there will be widespread reforms. I think this will be last-ditch effort of the government to see as pro-corporate and pro-consumer, both at the same time, and basically pro-economy. So they'll try to do something to rev up the growth of the economy. They'll do something to rev up the markets. So I would imagine that there will be a lot of reforms. However, at the same time, you will find the BJP trying to stall the Lok Sabha session in November, etc. So there's going to be very interesting times. But I think there will be some action. So we can have more actions and a lot of news for us guys.